नमस्कार, आप सबका स्वागत है। एंड यू नो द रीजन यू कैन सी मी सो एक्साइटेड इज के जो दो लोग मैं आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करने वाला हूं और जिस ब्रांड के बारे में आज हम लोग बात करेंगे, दीज आर ऑल माय फेवरेट पीपल एंड फेवरेट ब्रांड। यहां पे मैंने उनको बोला आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क यू टफ क्वेश्चंस, रियली टफ क्वेश्चंस एंड आई वांट ऑनेस्ट आंसर्स। उन्होंने हाँ कर दी। So let's find out if that promise can be kept because Danish and Vikas are here. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Welcome. तो ये देखो मैंने ओपनिंग ही ऐसे की है कि this has to be from the heart. So Quickfire.
Done.
Okay. तो इन सब के लिए पहला सवाल मेरा ये है कि out of all the phones Vivo has released in the last 1 year, which is your favorite? I'll start with you, Vikas.
To pick one, very difficult. But if there is no choice, X200 Pro is my favorite.
It's okay. No choice. मतलब it's that good कि it's your favorite कि
all phones are our babies, right? So if you ask me to pick one,
I think mine is X200 FE.
Okay, so the two new releases are your two big favorites. Okay, you're just warming up here. अब बताओ, I'll start with you. Favorite feature in a Vivo phone?
I think multifocal portrait, which we have involved with size.
Okay.
It's very good.
We'll talk a lot about cameras, so I'm not going to dwell further into it, but I agree with you. That's fantastic. What about you?
AI 4-season portraits.
Both of you have gone with something to do with images.
Yes.
Optics. That becomes very important. And तीसरा वाला क्वेश्चन, जब आप लोग अपने लिए एक फोन खरीदते हो, आप लोग का बाइंग क्राइटेरिया क्या होता है? For your own self, this is your personal use.
Okay.
Camera, battery, looks, screen,
Okay.
or performance.
I think if you have to pick one, and that too for me, I would say design. Because design ही है जो एक फर्स्ट अपील होती है.
Okay.
Right?
So
उसके बाद सब कुछ आता है. मैं बाद में देखूंगा कैमरा
So
कितना
you're
अच्छा है.
with you're the same as Kareena Kapoor. Good looks. Huh?
Say that.
Yeah, okay.
I think for me, camera is more
Okay.
important.
So that is your buying criteria. You would go with that as your buying. आपकी R&D टीम ने आपको आके दिखाते हैं कि भाई हम लोग ने 2 mm थिन फोन बना दिया, लेकिन बाकी सब कुछ कर लेंगे, कैमरा में हमको कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़ेगा. Would you say yes to that?
I think it all depends consumer की need. If consumer is needing that kind of smartphone, we need to evaluate how to compromise on the other part.
Okay.
It's not just me to decide, whether we should launch this or not.
Okay. No, but as Vivo, the brand that stands for the best photography, the best video, would you?
So I would put it like this. So every trade-off comes at a cost. From Vivo perspective, or as a product manager from Vivo, I will not compromise on the camera at all.
Okay. So you're saying you look deeper into where is what the consumer wants. You're saying कि नहीं, flat out, not. देखा, यही मैंने बोला था कि this is going to actually happen out here. Honest answers coming. Okay. ये मेरे लिए intrigue की बात है, लेकिन I'm also sure that a lot of people from the Vivo world that are watching it are very interested in this answer. Okay. तो आप दोनों से के बीच में who comes to office first and who leaves last?
That goes without saying.
Everyone knows. This is everyone knows.
It's an everyday affair.
Oh,
He's a person of timing. Make sure he comes first in the office and leaves on time.
If you could go take your best Vivo camera phone and go to any part in the world, any city, any location, आप कहाँ जाओगे to take the picture of your dreams?
I would love to go to Leh Ladakh. Because the scenic location, the breathtaking views.
आप गए नहीं हो अभी तक?
I think नहीं गया अभी तक, तो मैं जाना चाहूँगा, इसलिए it's in my wish list.
Okay, ले लद्दाख.
मैं तो सर वेडिंग्स में जाना चाहूँगा because we can capture very good photos in weddings. So जहाँ भी wedding
तो you're basically saying कि you're asking everybody in the audience कि मेरे को बुलाओ, invite करो weddings के लिए. नहीं, I think
आप
it's a
हमें
great
बुलाएंगे, Vivo फोन को बुलाएंगे, किसी एक को बुलाएंगे.
Someone must come. Okay, ठीक है. So now we're moving on to that same thing that he spoke about, which is wedding photography. Vivo ने ना इसको completely master कर लिया है. We believe they do an incredible job with it, right? लेकिन और भी फेस्टिवल्स हैं इंडिया में.
सी अभी मैं आज के पॉडकास्ट में तो ये बता सकता हूँ कि हमने वेडिंग के आगे AI 4 सीजन पोर्ट्रेट बनाया, राइट. इंडिया में हर सीजन का एंजॉय बैठ के नहीं लिया जा सकता. क्या कुछ कैमरा में ऐसा फीचर बनाओ जिससे बिना ट्रैवल किए मैं वो स्नोई माउंटेन्स देख सकता हूँ.
मैं चारों सीजन कर सकता हूँ.
मैं बिल्कुल ऑटम के मजे और हर मौसम के मजे बैठे बैठे ले सकता हूँ. तो हमने AI 4 सीजन पोर्ट्रेट ऑलरेडी बना दिया.
Right now we are working on identifying key moments जहाँ पे consumers they feel that they need a very good camera experience. Whether it is zooming, whether it is like stage mode in wedding season. For example, you want to capture good portraits. So it is not just about wedding. It is about every moment which is very precious for us. क्योंकि वेडिंग जो है ज़्यादा प्रीशियस होती है, चाहे आप अपनी करें या आप किसी की वेडिंग में जाएं, राइट. यू वांट टू कैप्चर फोटोज, सो यू विल सी लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इन दिस.
ओके, सो एट लीस्ट वी गॉट दैट एज एन आंसर. क्या आने वाला है आप लोग के लिए फॉर श्योर? I think in the last 3 years or so, at least according to me, but maybe the number can be 3 or 4 years, Vivo ने बड़े steadily rise किया है in the premium segment, which is one of the most difficult ones to crack. Going up the value ladder and going up the premium ladder is difficult, right? So, what is the conscious strategy to actually let the product do the talking for people to say, yes, it's worth it?
Premium is a kind of journey for us, and we are, being driven by the consumers. When we see the Indian market, there is a specific need of, the premiumization of that experience, which is, driving more value, what they are, experiencing now.
Vivo ने ये शुरू किया था at a time when Indian phone की premiumization market की शुरू नहीं हुई थी. तो ये conscious strategy थी, because that's where I'm saying that, could you predict it?
There were certain voices from the consumers where they have, asked for a premium camera experience, a premium design experience, feeling. So it started from the consumers itself.
Okay. All right.
We'll put it in 2 ways. One, we looked at the data. Like in the past few years, while the market is not growing, but it's the premium segment where we have seen the exponential growth coming up. So that gives us the signal, this is the opportunity for us to grab. Second, in the last decade, I think Vivo has done wonders. I think people call it as camera champion, and V series has been the flag bearer for us. Exactly 2020, we decided to launch our first X50, right, where our journey for premium segment started. And generation after generation, we launched products which were user-driven products, right? We looked at consumer wanted stability in the phones. We brought in gimbal technology. People wanted best of the optics, because people don't believe in megapixel game anymore. They wanted the real the output, the output of the pictures which they see. It should be as beautiful as they are. We decided to collaborate with Zeiss. So it's a journey where we conceptualize these innovation technology by keeping consumer at the center.
अभी इस point पे Vivo का एक बड़ा interesting vantage point है कि you are now shaping many things other brands are doing, right? Camera बहुत important है, partnerships with some very, very well-known other brand that is known for its optics and everything else. How do you feel Vivo will shape the future of smartphones, especially here in India?
The first 10 years for us was consolidation, making our mark in the market, premiumization, growth. Next 10 years, I think for us the focus is localization. So that's why you see these two products which we are launching, X200 FE and Fold 5. I think we are addressing both the people who are looking for the smallest of the screen in a compact form factor without compromising on flagship features. The other one is for all the visionary, for all the affluent businessmen who are seeking a productivity companion for themselves.
So it's more about customizing or understanding local consumer need and providing products according to it. Second is more about the availability. So because we have our own manufacturing unit in India, right? So we have that kind of channel expansion, like we have more than 70,000 retailers. So it's more about availability. So means consumer can really experience that product. Third is more about we are bringing that global innovations to India market. For example, in X100 Pro, we were having 1-inch large camera sensor. X200 Pro was having India's first 200 megapixel telephoto, and so on. We have X Fold 3 Pro, where slim, light, big, with the big battery. So it's more about bringing that kind of global innovation to the Indian market also. So I think future is by our consumers, but we need to understand so that we can deliver that kind of product in the Indian market.
AI, सबका favorite 2 letters in the last 1.5-2 years. Also because it's becoming a marketing gimmick. What is Vivo doing to differentiate? This is not a marketing only, story to be told. It's not just a gimmick.
It all depends on consumer. So we need to identify, that what kind of role AI is playing for different kind of consumer segment. For example, for some set of consumers, AI can play a role of productivity. How I can improve my productivity in terms of maybe AI summaries or me text to message and all those things. For some of the consumers, AI can help in image improvement, right? For example, cameras related to all those things. For some kind of consumer segment, it can be how quick I can do my task, or for example, in certain kind of students, right? You have certain quick note making and all those things. So it depends on consumer segment. You can't use the same lens for all consumer segments.
जब सारे phones ये सब करेंगे, तो why will I choose a phone based on AI then? How do you plan to differentiate in this category? Because all the things you spoke about, everything at some point सबके लेवल्स थोड़े अलग होंगे, लेकिन ऑलमोस्ट हर फोन ये सब कर लेंगे. एंड इन द फ्यूचर तो सब ही कर पाएंगे, राइट? सम मे डू इट ऑन डिवाइस, सम विल थ्रो सम टास्क ऑन टू द क्लाउड, बट दे विल ऑल अचीव इट. Then how does Vivo differentiate?
We need to identify the key scenario. जैसे हमने कैमरा में भी किया है, you have a very good amount of cameras and optimization and so on, but you identify a core scenario. For example, in productivity, if we have a very core scenario, for example, speech to text, right? Then we need to understand the consumer pain point in more deeper way. Where it is, having a problem, how fast we can do, how best we can do, what kind of optimization can be done, what is the end result he want. He just want a summary actually, what he is trying to do with that summary. So it's more about, how you use that approach of user orientation, but you deep dive. It is not that what somebody is providing, we also providing the same thing.
You rightly said AI is gaining a lot of traction, not only smartphone industry, across the industries. But, I'll put it like this, it may sound exciting, but not always useful, right? At Vivo, AI is not just to, it's not a marketing gimmick. Every AI feature we built at Vivo is built to solve the real consumer need. I'll give you an example what we have done and what we have developed so far. For all camera lovers, AI magic move, right? You wanted to frame a subject, but it is off center. Now the magic will do the magic, right? And a lot of exciting features. We have added AI 4-season portrait. We have talked about, right? Don't need to travel. Everything comes at your home on your one click, right? And there are like all working professional. We have developed this feature called Smart AI Call Assistant. So if you're on a Zoom meetings, so the smart meeting assistant, what it do it, on a tap of your button, if let's say you're on the go, you're, on just one click, you are on the go in your Zoom meetings, it will give you a quick transcription of your entire conversation and the summaries.
A lot of people out there will also say that a clear consistency है आपके X series के evolution में. There's a particular kind of a look, there's a particular kind of, as you said, looks are very, very important. Is there a guiding design engineering principle that actually guides what an X series phone should always look like?
So I will say the same question. It's guiding principle is that the entire handling experience of a phone in our consumer will decide what kind of design experience or CMF strategy we need to have. Because like I mentioned, consumer is changing, the color preference is changing, handling experience is changing if you use your smartphone a longer period of time. What kind of camera module people want in the smartphone, that needs to be complemented with the technology.
Lekin what comes first? Do you aim that this phone should be the thinnest in its category and then build everything around it, or do you build everything and then say, can we make this more miniature and fit it into a smaller case?
So actually, I'll give you an example of this X200 FE, right? It's a compact smartphone, right? It doesn't mean that compact smartphone, so it is not having that powerful.
Compromise नहीं है.
Compromising नहीं है, powerful camera capabilities हैं, performances related, improvements and all that.
Frankly speaking, बहुत सालों से a consumer has wanted a smaller phone, but neither did you deliver it, nor did other brands deliver it. Why does this exist now?
सालों से तो स्मार्टफोन की जर्नी ही स्मॉलर स्क्रीन साइज स्मार्टफोन से शुरू हुई थी.
लेकिन नो कॉम्प्रोमाइज कॉम्पैक्ट फोन, बहुत सारे लोगों के बहुत बड़े हो रहे हैं फोन, बैग में फिट नहीं आ रहा, जीन्स पॉकेट में फिट नहीं आ रहा, मेरे जैकेट के पॉकेट में फिट नहीं आ रहा. ये डिमांड तो कब से है, लेकिन कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड कॉम्पैक्ट फोन्स ही आते थे. तो व्हाई डज दिस एग्जिस्ट नाउ?
See, first of all is that consumers have increased their usages. पहले इतना usage नहीं था. Now even whenever you are taking out your smartphone, you will find that most of the time either you are doing, for example, watching certain OTT platforms, or maybe doing UPI payments and so on. So frequency of using smartphone has increased, number one. Second thing is more about that the viewing time, right? The holding time has increased, and most of the time you want to carry your phone in your hand, right? So there is a need, right? Second is more about whether that need is addressing the bigger consumer segment or not, or whether this requirement is very, very niche, right? And beside that, they don't have any other requirement, right? So compact size one smartphone need hai, but at the same time they want a very, very professional imaging qualities also, right? So when we have that kind of need, right, and we have that kind of capabilities also to address that need, not just from design point of view, but from performance point of view also. Because consumer को तो package चाहिए. They want a very, very powerful package plus a compact smartphone. So they don't want a compact smartphone with some of the features. So that is not the right thing. So what we realize is that this is the time where we can, you know, address their consumer needs or their needs, right, in a much more, professional way, I will
तो इसका मतलब है कि was the technology or the innovation or the hardware not available और कि आज तक हम लोग को इस तरीके का नो कॉम्प्रोमाइज फोन नहीं मिला और ये अब आया है, would that be the right answer?
नो, आई डोंट थिंक इट इज द राइट आंसर. राइट आंसर ये है कि कंज्यूमर को लगा कि नहीं, अब मुझे कॉम्पैक्ट फोन चाहिए,
अब चाहिए,
अब चाहिए.
अच्छा,
पहले
मतलब
मेरा काम चल
the
रहा
need has come from various
Yeah, yeah,
factors.
yes, yes.
I'll give you a little behind the scenes story when we were conceptualizing this phone and how did we decided to bring this a compact flagship phone. You know, when we were doing consumer dipsticks, we found that, you know, people wanted to own a smart compact phone, but they were compromising on flagship features. This was one finding. The common lingo was the flagship phones mean bulky phones. They were wanting to have the flagship phone, but all of them are bulky phones, right? They are looking for a small compact screen. They were compromising on the flagship feature, either battery or camera experience, right? So we saw a renewed interest of, you know, a compact screen with the flagship features, right? We went back to our R&D, right, and decided that okay, for sake of just compact screen, we don't want to get another compact screen phone. We wanted to get it right. You know, you won't believe we have done with our R&D more than 1,100 simulation of ergonomics, right, to get to the 6.31 inch. There were 1,100 options between 6 inch to 6.5 inch. Right, so this is little behind the scenes. So we wanted to don't want to get a small compact screen. We wanted to get it right. So 6.31 was where, you know, consumer can easily hold, have a one-hand operation feel, very ergonomically fit into his palm, and then he can easily hover his finger right onto this. So 6.31 inch where he can easily reach out to every nook and corner.
Single-handed operation के लिए ये
One.
perfect है.
Second, when we were building the compact screen, you know, we always wanted to put the best of our optics and camera experience. And you see, Zeiss is pretty much there, right? There we had a challenge, right? While we wanted to put in the best of the world-class optics, the camera bulging came as a hindrance. So we worked with Zeiss. For us, when we worked and collaborated with Zeiss, it's not a marketing gimmick. And we really go deep dive into R&D. And just to tell you a story and to tell our audience, we have actually changed the periscope design structure from how the light flows from L shape to M shape, right? By changing those optics along with Zeiss, we were able to make the camera protrusion little less.
लेकिन अपना जो R&D के अराउंड जो हमेशा बड़ी 11 फुट की वॉल होती है,
No, I think
so
that-
we never can look in. थोड़ा उसको आप खोलो ना, बताओ मेरे को कि कैसे होता है ये, मतलब how do you come up with, like, how do you say कि okay, this folding phone will have a 6,000 mAh battery, but I wanted this thing. What comes first? ये जो chicken and egg वाला हम consumers को तो नहीं समझ आ रहा.
For example, in battery, I will give you. For example, if I want to say I have a compact smartphone, but still I want to have more than a day of battery, right? Then more than a day of battery, how we can optimize, how we can calculate is something which we need certain amount of methodologies in terms of calculating. So based on that, we have certain calculations, जो भी whatever internal structure is, that we have this much of space, and then we have this much of, we need this much of capacity, and then we reverse engineer that what kind of battery technology we can bring, you know, to have that kind of 6,500 mAh of battery capacity, right? So it is not just about chicken and egg only. There are a lot of things which need to be done in between chicken and egg.
मतलब the chicken has to be fed the right things and then पता चलेगा कि क्या होने वाला है वहाँ पे.
We don't design products and figure out who do we sell it to. Not at all. It's not a chicken egg story for us. We look at our consumer first and then decide.
ठीक है. So now we've seen the future in terms of the fact that we have a no compromise compact phone and we have a phone that folds beautifully, huge screen, outer inner, no compromise on camera, no compromise on the battery, and no compromise on the fact that it is actually very fragile. In तीनों में कुछ नहीं है. लेकिन speaking about the future, right? I'm going to end with throwing out some of my, I'm not calling them favorite, but at least I think headline wise, 4-5 चीजें I'll throw out. And I want you to tell me whether you want to wear your Vivo hat or take it off and only say it personally, वो आपके ऊपर है, right? कि इनको, इन products को आप बताओ कि how excited are you about it by rating them from 1 to 10, not a 0, because 0 I don't think any of them would deserve. On 1 to 10. 1 meaning not at all, you think it's a flop completely, ये सिर्फ अभी hype है, headline है, flop हो जाएगा. And 10 means this is it, which will also be a hint कि Vivo का Vivo product शायद बाहर आएगा, right? Okay, so let's start off. Are you ready? Okay, so I'll start off with the first one with you. You don't have to explain it, only a number.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Smart glasses.
9.
9. Okay.
8.
8. Okay. Triple fold phones. आप लोग दोनों बड़े सरप्राइज्ड होगे. I came for your launch of the fold and the. बड़े सारे लोग हैं that come and talk to me at an event and everything. The number of people that asked me कि vivo का ट्रिपल फोल्ड फ़ोन कब आ रहा है. ऐसे तुम लोग यार इतनी रूमर जो अभी उन्होंने लॉन्च किया उसके साथ एक्साइटमेंट रखो. ओके, बट स्टार्टिंग विद यू, ट्रिपल फोल्ड फोन्स 1 to 10.
पहले 8 दे दिया मैंने, राइट? तो 9.
स्मार्ट ग्लासेस को दिया आपने ना, ये तो बिल्कुल अलग कैटेगरी. सो 9 ऑन दिस.
या 9.
8.
8. ओके, इंटरचेंज हो रहा है यहाँ पे. ओके. स्मार्ट रिंग्स.
I think for health conscious, I would say 10.
10, huh? So between now this is my add-on, okay, because I use this technology a lot. If you were given a choice, because पहनना एक ही आपने, right? Smart watch, smart ring, या जो straps आ गए हैं, like the बहुत सारे आने वाले हैं.
Of course, smart ring. That's why I
Smart
gave
ring.
it 10.
Okay, you gave it a
I
10.
think it's quite
Smart
10.
ring.
I think smartwatch.
You would go with a smart watch. So rating for a smart ring.
Maybe 7.
So, not too bad. Or there's not a disaster. आप लोग ने phones को करवा दिया, you know, बड़ी अच्छी तरह fold. One of the big categories that is coming up is folding laptops. Out of 10.
9.
9. Wow, you guys love all the future technology. What about it?
Futuristic 7.
A 7. Okay. Futuristic, but doesn't make you overly excited. Okay. And the last one, which we all hope for, but you know, maybe not something very exciting for you. I'll start with you. Driverless cars.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of buzz around it on the internet. So for me, I think in India it's still far away. So 6.
6.
I think traffic less roads would be much better, but
अच्छा, we can dream. Dream तो कर ही सकते हैं.
I think it is 8.
And 8. Okay. तो मैं एक और कैटेगरी अपनी तरफ से एक और फेंक रहा हूँ because it just came to me as we were talking. Robots as help. So that basically means they'll drive for you, they'll, you know, help you in your house or housework, and also become your psychologist and psychiatrist, क्योंकि उसमें पूरा का पूरा chat GPTs and the Gemini सब कुछ है उसमें. So as help, now whatever help you need, right? Rate it for me out of 10 because I saw a very interesting demo of this where
I think I will rate 10.
10.
Yeah, I think if we can give 11 out of 10, they're going to be agentic AI based and
imagine if it's
yeah.
also part of a mechanized robot.
Yeah, I think 10 out of 10.
तो ये obvious हो गया कि एक AI based robot vivo का बहुत जल्दी आने वाला because between the two of them they've rated it at 21. तो thank you so much. I think ये वाली conversation became much longer than I had thought it would be. I thought I'll just throw out a few questions. Of course, मेरा favorite question मैंने नहीं पूछा and you'll be both very surprised because you know we've done these conversations before. मैं हमेशा पूछता हूँ कि you've got a huge audience, it's great platform. कुछ future products के एक दो थोड़े reveal कर दो यहाँ पे. But I know both of you will say कि listen वो तो launch date पे event पे होगा. I'm not asking, but फिर भी you know, try करना मेरा काम है. So anything very exciting happening in the next 3 months that you want to talk about the future?
All right, I think...
even if it's only a hint of a category.
So, we have exciting range of products coming up and then just before Diwali. You know, teasers have already begun. All I can say, a lot of localization because as I said, it's not just a hardware or a innovation or a technology which we wanted to, you know, always bring into a consumer. It's an experience because for us, you know, photography should be effortless. People should not buy us because of gimbal and 1-inch sensor. It should be effortless anytime, anywhere. So a lot of excitement,
Okay,
lot of unprecedented stuff.
One hint you've already got कि कुछ बहुत बड़ा होने वाला है. One hint from you. It could be just a category. Next 3 months.
I think it's more about you will find more occasion where you can, you know, really feel that Vivo cameras are doing better and best in terms.
Occasion. चलो ये भी एक hint आ गया. All right, thank you so much. Wonderful talking to both of you. This
Thank
was
you.
More exciting than I had even thought it would be. And thank you everybody that has been watching it. यहाँ पे आपको बहुत सारे hints आ गए हैं about what is coming in the future. आपको बहुत कुछ पता चला है about Vivo the company and the people that actually run all of this, and also the 100% part of it is what's now the super excitement around it. So we are entering a very exciting phase in the world of technology. Watch out for it. A lot of it has been spoken about here, and we'll keep trying and doing this in the future on a very regular basis. Thank you very much for watching.